Do beauty gurus make like first impressions of like makeup? First impressions for supplement prompts right here. Hi guys! It's been a while since I last made a video. I actually have some videos prepared. I have my Oxford interview videos and I have a new video about how to pick your IB subjects for you guys. But as you can see, no setup, no lights, no nothing. This is just me sitting on a sofa because the new UChicago prompts for this year are out and I am extremely excited. And so I decided to film a kind of like first impressions video. I'm currently in Singapore. That's why I actually did not intend to film anything. I actually had some videos lined up, but I just really wanted to do this video. So you're gonna have to excuse the setup. I'm staying at a friend's house. This'll be fun. Okay, let's jump into this. I haven't read them yet. I know that they're out. I saw friends posting on it all over Moments, but I haven't read them yet. So let's read them together. Okay, I will put them in somewhere on the screen so you guys can read them as well. Okay, question 1. How does the University of Chicago satisfy your desire for a particular kind of learning? So this is the Why UChicago question. Not really much to say. Go look at my Why UChicago essay if you're interested. Okay. Extended essay. They're calling the extended essay now? What happened to the uncommon essay? Okay. Option 1. In 2015, the city of Melbourne, Australia, created a tree mail service in which all of the trees in the city received an email address so that residents could report any tree-related issues. As an unexpected result, people began to email their favorite trees sweet and occasionally humorous letters. Imagine this has been expanded to any object in the world. And share with us the letter you sent to your favorite. Okay, I think that on first glance, this question, I keep looking at myself now, I need to look up there. At first glance, this question might seem a little bit boring because it's literally just a letter to an object, right? Or a letter to like a plant or something like that. But I think there's a lot of potential in here. Why? Because I think one, from what object you picked, you can explain something that has like an obvious connection. For example, if someone were to write like an ode to like a pen that they always use or like their desk. I think I read a Harvard essay about someone's like study desk in the new 11th edition or the 3rd edition. Or like something like that. That could, 1, establish a very quick tie between you and that object. And then 2, the format letter is very cute. I love letters. My Why UChicago essay is a letter. And it is a letter to an inanimate object, kind of. So I think that this has a lot of area for expansion, but it might be a little bit normal because it is just a letter to an object. But let's continue seeing the other options. Option 2. You are on a voyage in the 13th century sailing across the tempestuous seas. What if suddenly you fell off the edge of the earth? This one is immensely adorable. I love it. Oh my god, I can see, it's like the fingertips are tingling. Okay. I think it's very easy to go the imagery route on this one. Maybe if you are someone who really has a flair for description or flair for creative writing, or maybe like you can even pull in maybe like time travel elements here. You can talk about how you're like a time traveler from the 13th century, or if you're someone who enjoys that kind of like Odysseus kind of feel, this might be your prompt. However, I think one of the pitfalls of this might be you writing an amazing story, that is like really beautiful and maybe very interesting, but maybe it doesn't like sound like you, or you don't tie it back to yourself well enough. Because this does talk about falling off the edge of the earth, right? Which is very like Jules Verne, like C.S. Lewis even through a wardrobe, I mean. But yeah, that kind of like fantastical element, and I love it. I think combining fantasy and reality, aka like applicants, is something that is really amazing. So you just have to find that kind of like portal. How do I tie off falling off the edge of the earth and an activity that you do or something that you love or something like that? Yeah. Maybe you can go all out on this one though. Like you could do maybe falling off the edge of the earth and then realizing that you're in like a Jules Verne book, or like you're falling through the pages and then you're landing here and now you're like reapplying, or like something like that. Or you can even go like, as I said, time travel route that's like very science fiction-y. Or you can go falling off the edge of the world, like literally, and then discovering, oh, the world is round, the world is flat, the world is like a fourth dimension, the world is like a simulation. You can go all out on this one. Yeah, this could be very interesting. Okay, I say option 3. I can't pronounce this. The word flossinausylhinhilification is the act or habit of describing or regarding something as unimportant or of having no value. It originated in the mid-18th century from the Latin words flocus, nocum, nihilum, and pilus. I don't know if I pronounced any of that right, but bear with me. All words meaning of little use. Coin your own word using parts from any language you choose, tell us its meaning, and describe the plausible, if only to you, scenarios in which it would be most appropriately used. I like this one, but not as much as the others. Why? One, because it's very rooted in linguistics and semantics, which there's always that prompt that is rooted in linguistics. But I feel like with this one, you have to combine words from different languages, and then you have to explain, the meaning and describe plausible scenarios. So it just pulling it away, like further away from any creative writing elements. So unlike the first one, you can't tie in fantastical stuff. You can, for example, if I do calligraphy, maybe I can tie in Chinese characters and stuff. But then that's too cliche. I feel like the line between quirky and cliche is always just two sides of the same coin. But for this one, it's much easier, I think, to go on the cliche side. But I think if you can find an angle that fits you, or words that fit you, this could be your prompt. But I personally would not consider this one. One, because it just requires a lot of research, and it's a lot of explaining your choices. It's you have to put a lot of effort into picking the phrases, making the word, and then you have to explain why you picked these phrases and these words, and then you have to explain the scenario. And hopefully, the admissions officer sees you in this word, and it really has to scream you. Otherwise, I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't be able to tie any word to myself as strongly. But maybe that's just me. And again, this is a first impressions video, right? Okay, so essay option 4. Oh, this is inspired by someone from the class of 2022. So he's in my class. Interesting. Option 4. Lost your keys? Alohomora. Noisy roommate quietus. Feel the need to shatter windows for some reasons? Fenestra. Create your own spell, charm, jinx, or other means for magical mayhem. How is it enacted? Is there an incantation? Does it involve a potion or other magical object? If so, what's in it, or what is it, and what does it do? I like this one. Maybe it's just a Harry Potter vibe screwing me. Just oh my god, Wingardium Leviosa. No, it's Wingardium Leviosa. Oh my god, I can't. I think I got that backwards, but anyhow. Oh my god. Okay, I think it's interesting because usually you only have one semantics linguistics prompt, and this time you have 2. Option 3 and option 4 are both kind of linguistics. I definitely would prefer this prompt over the one before, just at first impression. Why? Because this one you can add, it's a little bit more fun, and I only need to do research into one language, probably Latin, or it can be any language, and that might be interesting if it's from another language, right? In Chinese, it will be a sutra. I don't know. Okay, maybe sutra is just in Hinduism, but jing could be a hymn or something like that. And then you could also explain what your spell would be for, right? I feel like that's tighter than what scenarios would you use this word in from option 3. This might be more fun, as in what spell would you create and all that. Again, not the most creative prompt in the book, I feel like, because I feel like I have heard this prompt before. Or maybe that was just literally Harry Potter. But I definitely would like this one better than option 3. Yeah, this is me personally, yeah. Next one. I think there's only one more. Yes, there's one more. Oh, this is a long one. Imagine you've struck a deal with the Dean of Admissions himself, Dean Norndorf. It goes as follows. You are guaranteed admission to the University of Chicago regardless of any circumstances that arise. This bond is grounded on the condition that you'll obtain a blank 8.5 times 11 piece of paper and draw, write, sketch, shade, stencil, paint, etc. anything and everything you want on it. Your only limitations will be the boundaries of both sides on the single page. Now the catch. Your submission for the rest of your life will always be the first thing anyone you meet for the first time will see. Whether it's at a job interview, a blind date, arrival at your first humanities class, before you even say hey, they'll already have seen your page and formulated that first impression. Show us your page, what's on it, and why. If your page is largely or exclusively visual, please make sure to share a creator's accompanying statement of at least 300 words, which we will happily allow to be on its own separate page. P.S. This is a creative thought experiment, and selecting this essay prompt does not guarantee your admission into UChicago. Nice! Oh, and it's by someone in my class as well. Dang, guys, this is amazing. Ammon, I will not attempt to pronounce. I think this is her name, but that's a pretty amazing prompt. So this is definitely that prompt among the others that stands out. Last year, I believe it was the typo one. It was like, someone has hacked into the UChicago system, there was a clerical error in one of the major titles, what would it be, etc., etc. This is like a step up. This is summarize what you want the entire world to see on your first impression in an A4 piece of paper. Somebody is going to say a blank piece of paper. Someone is going to say that and hand in like a blank A4 paper or something, and then have like a 300 minimum word creative statement beside it. I can see it happening already. This is definitely interesting, but I think don't be too rash to choose it. I was very inclined to pick the second prompt last year because I knew, I was like, this is the prompt people are going to be looking out for. It's the interesting one, you know? But then I thought about it, and I was like, I can't think of anything super impactful to say. I can, but it seems a little bit of a stretch. It doesn't feel natural. So instead I chose the fashion armor one, which is, you know, slightly more boring, I think, in comparison, but I definitely don't regret it. And I think for this one, it might be a little easy to jump into because it could be anything. It could be visual, it could be non-visual, it could be, oh my god, it could be anything. For first impressions, I think that the ones that you should look out for, like the prompts you should pay more attention to, is the fifth one, definitely this one. Think about it. I like the fourth one for myself, and I personally think I think the easiest one to write, and when I say easy, I don't mean like literally easy. No UChicago prompt is easy to write. But when I mean easy, I mean maybe easier to tie to yourself for someone who doesn't feel that they have like an event that they really, really want to portray. One might be a good option. I also think 4 might be a good option. Okay, for me personally, I would probably choose between 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Yeah. I would stay out of 5 because I can feel myself going like haywire, whirlwind, just drilling myself into like, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else, like, will other people not do? So I'm just gonna forget about it. And of course, by the way, 6 is just past prompts, like do whatever you like. So I'm not gonna include it. So I will cut out 5 for myself. I won't touch it. It's beautiful, honestly. It breaks me that I don't want to touch it. But from a college apps perspective, if I'm doing this again, I wouldn't touch it. I would pick one between 4, 2, and 1. 2 only if 2 I'll probably write an outline. It'll probably be very like creative and fun. And then 1 I might, if I can find an object or like a plant or something that I want to write a letter to. Yeah, but it maybe just because 1 is very similar to what I wrote. These are definitely my favorite prompts out of the 5. Yeah. I'm sorry there was no wonderful lighting and stuff, but I hope this was relatively useful, or even just like fun to watch, just like someone unveil their first impressions of like an essay prompt. If you guys would like me to dissect these prompts and maybe come up with like more specific outlines as to how to approach them, or how to approach like last year's prompts, or maybe one of the prompts from the past years, like I see some like what's so odd about odd numbers, find X, like the really classic ones, or like Alice fell down the rabbit hole, etc. If you guys want me to do like an analysis or a breakdown of those prompts, I can do that too. This is really, really fun to me. It's just like brainstorming. Let me know in the comments below. Let's do an exercise. Comment down below what you think is a cool UChicago prompt, or what would be a cool UChicago prompt. I submitted some myself, and I'll comment the ones I submitted down below. But of course, none of them made the list, but I liked my prompts. I thought they were pretty interesting. And yeah, comment what you think would be a good UChicago prompt down below. I just think it'll be fun to read your comments. Yeah, it's no particular reason. Yeah, just, yeah. Okay, that's it.